morning everyone, Carol here at Oak House Journals. Hello, 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 and a big warm welcome and very happy and merry new year to each and every one of you. I hope you've all had an amazing Christmas holiday. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, that you've had a nice seasonal break. I know I have here, and yes, it was different. It was quiet. We usually have the family all up for Christmas. So there were just the two of us this year, but we still had an amazing time and enjoyed every moment. And for those of you that like snow, like I do, it was the icing on the cake to get some snow on Boxing Day. And it's still here. I'm looking out of the window immediately in front of me here onto the garden, and we've got around about 3, maybe 4 inches of pristine white snow that has stayed since Boxing Day. The weather has been so cold, nice, dry, crispy cold, that it's kept the snow in immaculate condition. It hasn't turned to sludge like it normally does or started melting. So even on the country lane outside, it's lovely. So for me, that was the icing on the cake. I know some people don't like snow, but if you're a skier like I am, I adore it. So that was fantastic. So today, what I thought I would do is I would give you a brief update on how we're getting on with the tag swap that started before Christmas, to mention 1 or 2 things about that, to show you what I've been getting up to over the Christmas break, because I've not been idle. In fact, I think I've been the busiest I've ever been. And also to talk to you about my 21 in 21. So let's get started. Firstly, with regards to the tag swap, I had hoped by this time to be able to show you the tags that I have personally received in the tag swap. But unfortunately here in the UK, due to the COVID variant, there was a lockdown in terms of international shipping and postage. Internal postage is fine. So I have my UK tags and also 1 or 2 that I managed to get in right under the wire before they put the lockdown on shipping. So whilst I've got most of my tags, I still have a few that I haven't got. Some I did with the tag swap and some I did as private swaps. So mine are a mixture of those. So if you don't see your tag about amongst the ones that I'm going to mention, don't worry, I know they will come. But what with the Christmas rush and also with the lockdown on international shipping, there's going to be a backlog of post. So I was hoping to show you my tag journals, all full, done and dusted and completed. Well, that's not the case, but these are the 2 little journals that I've made to hold my tags, and they're not quite finished yet. Let me show you. They have been made out of one of these, which if you no longer have a mortgage on your property, or if you are in the legal profession, you'll be very familiar with these. These are deed packets that your deeds come in, and I managed they have a canvas side and bottom to them, and then they're quite a nice thick cardboard. So I have a few of these, and I quite like making soft covered journals out of them. So that's what I've used as the basis of these journals, and I've just covered them with some festive fabric. Just take that clip off, that I had in amongst my stash. Now the reason I've made 2 is because because my private swap and also the open swap that we did before Christmas, I thought that I might have more tags than would fill one of these little journals. So if I thought if there was an overflow, then I could go into the second one, and if not, then I'll have one ready for next year. So as you can see, just very, very basic construction with some Midori style closure binding. So that's one, and this is the second one. This is some gorgeous silk that I had in my stash that I decided I would use. Now what I've done here is, whilst you can see I've got 3 binders. This is actually double here, so I can actually have 6 pages in here. And what I'm planning to do is, I haven't got a piece of paper handy as always. What I was planning to do, and I'll use this fabric here, what I was planning to do is just the usual style. So fold a piece of paper, create a vellum pocket along the bottom and pop my tags in the pockets, and then these pieces of paper will go inside my Midori folder here. So I'll be able to get a tag for each piece of paper that I put in. I will be able to get 4 tags in here. So 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And obviously, and I've got threads everywhere, and obviously because I'm going to have at least 2 on these, I'm going to have round about 24 tags in here. Now, I haven't decorated the front. I didn't know whether I wanted to or not, so the jury is out on that at the moment. I don't need to rush with deciding about that, because as I say, not all my tags are here. And what I will do is I will do a flip through of all my tags in another video shortly. I was hoping, as I say, to show you the journals with the tags all in when I'd got them all, and certainly by this time I didn't account for the lockdown. So I'll probably do that in a couple of days, regardless of whether the outstanding tags have come in, and then I'll just show those tags separately when they do come in. The other thing that I'm pondering at the moment is whether or not I'm going to put a pocket in the front, because I have a couple of trimmings of the silk left over, and I don't really just want to throw these in my stash. I thought what I might do is make a couple of pockets on either side here, like so. Let me move that one out of the way. Do a couple of pockets here, and I thought that I might use the offcuts of my fabric and just stitch those over the top to make kind of pretty little pockets that I can tuck something down. Now, the reason I thought that might be a nice idea is because we always get nice little notes and letters, don't we, with the friendship journal pages and the tags that we get. So I thought that might be nice to actually tuck them down in there if I don't tuck them down inside the vellum pocket on the pages where the tags will be. But I'm pretty sure that I am going to do that. So that's where I'm at with my little journals. Just wanted something very simple, very easy, and kind of quite festive. Now, I know that you guys are going to ask me what fabrics I've used. As I say, this was silk, this was silk that I brought back from a holiday. I don't bring the usual things back when I come back from a holiday. I bring fabrics and threads and stationery and things like that. So this was some gorgeous, gorgeous fabric, silk fabric I bought back with me from holiday. Probably about 4 years ago now. But these fabrics I bought here in the UK, and this one here is, here we go. It's called Morris Holiday Moda, M-O-D-A, and it came from modafabrics.com. It's 100% cotton, and it says single stem. I don't know what that means. 1905, circa Victoria and Albert Museum in London. So I think it's probably from a design taken from William Morris in the Victoria and Albert Museum. So that's that one. I will put that information in the description box down below. And this one came from, where are we? It's called Let It Glow, and it's by Sentimental Studio, and that's all I have again on that. But again, it's 100% cotton. So those are my little journals, all almost finished. And as I say, I will show the tags inside the journals in another video. This is just a very serendipity type of video today, so you'll have to bear with me, guys. here are some of the gorgeous, gorgeous tags and goodies that have come in the post immediately before Christmas and actually over Christmas. So I've got a lovely one here. I'm not going to show them. These are just the packaging. So this one came from Catherine, from Created by Catherine. Then I have the most adorable, whoops, that one's just caught, whoops, daisy on there. I have the most gorgeous, gorgeous little tag here from Angela Kerr. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thanks, Catherine. Thank you, Angela. I have said thank you in correspondence to everybody. And this is a lovely one that came in from Gail. Isn't that adorable? It's not Christmas themed, but it doesn't matter. Sorry, this is from Gail Tuthill. Then in here I have the most amazing tags from Jackie Chimes. Thank you, Jackie. This, oh ladies, this is to die for. You see, I'm teasing you with all of these. We'll have so much fun when we put these in the journal, won't we? This lovely, lovely pouch and tag is from Isabel Dunn. Izzy, I was blown away with that. Absolutely blown away. And then look what came. This is from the gorgeous Maureen Hooper. Mo, this was amazing. And I can't wait to show you guys what she's included in there for me. And then this one is from the lovely, lovely Britta. Just, oh, I don't mind you seeing my address. I should have thought about that. There you go. You've seen my address, everybody. This is the most gorgeous decorated envelope from Britta. And how lovely is that, everybody? And then this is one that came from Cozzy. No, not Cozzy. Corrie, sorry. Corrie. And this one came from Jane Wortherman. So look at all my goodies in there. I have been utterly, utterly spoilt. And I know that I have a few more coming in. Kerry, thank you for your latest email. Don't worry about it. The tags and the post will arrive when it arrives. Honestly, I think our postmen are amazing in terms of what they've been delivering in all the COVID stuff, because obviously there's been a massive increase on postal demands over the last 8-10 months or so, and then you add on to that the Christmas rush, so it must have been an absolute nightmare for them. It really must. And I know my postman, bless his cotton socks, Steve, he's been lovely, always got a smile and a joke for us every time he delivers a letter or a parcel. So 10 out of 10 to them, as well as to our NHS staff. So what else? What have I been doing? Well, I've been doing a little bit of dressmaking. I've made a couple of, they're called toaster tops. They're a bit like artist smocks. So I turned my hand. I had a major sort out in the craft room the other day. Because of all my lovely goodies that came for Christmas, and I decided that I needed to make up these two tops so that I could get rid of the bolts of fabric which were taking up way too much room in my chest of drawers here in the craft room. So I've made those, so I'm pleased about that. I have also made this little journal, and I've embroidered the cover. This again is silk. I wanted to do this little journal because I wanted to use up some of these embroidery threads, but also because I wanted to try a new style of binding. So it's a very, very simple journal. It's not perfect by any means. As you can see, that's not in a straight line, nor the one up here. But I just wanted to have a go at it. So this is what I've been doing. So as I say, this is a hardcover journal. This is raw silk in like a peach colour. And then I've just done, if you can see in the corners, just some little basic embroidery down the side here. I've couched some threads down, some more embroidery at the top there, just very, very simple. Seed beads tucked in. This is gold thread, which I've couched down. and just some random embroidery. This is another piece of it's like metal fabric. It behaves quite peculiarly, I can't get the word out. When you scrunch it up, it will hold its shape. I don't know what the name of it is, but I had some in my stash. Then I just put on some, I dotted all the way over with some random stitching just to couch it down, as you can see, and sewed on some tiny seed beads, and then some more embroidery, just fly stitching down the side here and across the top in that corner, and then a few more seed beads and whatever up in that top corner, and then a bit more down in the bottom there. Flipping over, I put a metal book cover, book corner in that corner, and then just some more, whoops-a-daisy, off camera, more embroidery there and down in the bottom corner. And then just some seed beads on the bands, and then I plaited up some embroidery threads and use a little bit of bamboo tubing to create the closure. And all that does is the bamboo cane goes through the loop like so, and it just shuts like that. So it's a very, very simple oriental style closure on it, but I quite like the decoration on the bamboo tubing. And then I haven't done anything inside, guys. As I say, I just wanted to practice and play, doing a little bit more embroidery work. So inside here, all I've done is I've stamped with some metallic metallic ink, and then I've used fairly thick, this is watercolour paper, quite thick inside, and I've done a very rough 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I've just put some washi every now and then. So this journal is completely blank apart from the washi that I've put in it every so often, just to give it a little bit of interest. But as I say, just very, very plain. I don't know what I'm going to do with the journal. I just wanted to do it, and I'll have a use for it at some stage. Oh, I love this washi. It is, can you see the tiny, tiny little birds on the washi? These are all grasses, and then just here and there are dotted these tiny, tiny little birds. Absolutely beautiful. Then here I've put some more in. I've just plaited again more of that beautiful embroidery thread. Put it's a bone, an old vintage bone bead in the shape of a flower head on the bottom, and that's my bookmark. And there we go. I'm labouring this, aren't I, everybody? Sorry. So there you go. Absolutely plain, nothing fancy at all here with this little one. And again, I've stamped with an Indian stamp in this metallic copper ink on the back cover. And there's my bookmark. So, as I say, I have no idea at all what I'm going to do with that little journal, but it was just something I wanted to play with. So that was another one of my projects over the Christmas break. Another one was this. Now, I decided, I've got this old drawer here, and it belongs in my writing slope, and I decided that what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a pen rack for my fountain pens. And so I found this old box, and I've just lined it with this stuff, which is drawer liner that I got from IKEA. So as you can see, this is a vintage drawer. I didn't want to stick anything down in that and detract from the age or damage the wood. But I bought this stuff, and it was cheap as chips, and it is literally a drawer liner from IKEA. So to create my ruffles here, I just cut 3 centimetre strips of this stuff, and using double-sided tape, I just rolled it up like so, and then I glued it down using double-sided tape to the inside of my box, to the base of my box, and then went over the top with this stuff again, and it's worked perfectly. So I'm really, really chuffed with how that worked out. And my pens, my fountain pens, can sit really nicely in here. So that was another project. It took me a day to do, I have to say, but I had a lovely time doing it, and it's perfect because these are all nice and secure in there. I do have 1 or 2 other pens, but I've just left out my best ones. So that was my other project that I got on with. So, right, I mentioned to you at the start of the video 21 in 21, and you're probably thinking, what on earth is 21 in 21? Well, I was chatting away, as you do, to Leanne, my friend in Australia. Happy New Year, Leanne. She'll be ready for bed now, won't she? I was chatting to Leanne over the Christmas period, and well, even before Christmas really, and I was saying that I was going to have a crafty New Year's resolution list this year. I have a New Year's resolution list every year, but not for crafting bits and bobs. And what I decided that I would do, and what I said I was going to do with Leanne, was I was going to make a list of all those projects that I never seem to have time to do, that I want to try, or a technique that I want to try. And it just went on from there. And whilst I was going to call it my crafty New Year's resolution list, Leanne came up with a much punchier 21 in 21, meaning 21 projects in the year 2021. And the reason that we're kind of keeping it down to 21 is because I get overfaced, basically. If I know I've got 1,000,001 things to do, they'll just not happen. So we put on our thinking caps, and what I've done is I've made a list of my 21 in 21. And the reason I'm sharing it with you guys is because if I share it with you, then I'll have to do it. I'm not the best at keeping New Year's resolutions, but I am good at ticking off things on a list. I'm pretty much target driven, if you will. So I have got 1 or 2 things that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to throw it out there, and as we go through the year, I'll see how I get on. And I know 1 or 2 people are doing this. I was just looking through the videos this morning with a cup of tea, as you do, and I saw one of Roxy's videos saying that she wants to do more art journaling this year. And I know there's a bit of a collaboration going on with Tracy and Artie Mays and 49 Dragonflies, is it? Oh, sorry. So I know that we all have the same ideas, but this is just one I thought that I would throw out there. I've mentioned it to the lovely Diane Westerland, and she's going to play along too, and obviously Leanne. Now, I'm not going to check in on you guys at all. You don't have to play along. This is just what I'm going to do. And these are some of the projects that I am going to try and get done this year that are on my list. So I've done them in various categories. And my first one is UFOs, so unfinished objects. So I have here in front of me a tag book. Now, you will have seen these in my Etsy shop last year. I posted some of these little tag books, which I was hugely inspired by Suze of Shabby Soul to make. And this is one I kept back for myself, but I had this one left over. And the reason I didn't get round to finishing this is because I wasn't so keen on the wallpaper that I was using to cover my book. But as you can see, I've almost prepped my pages. There is not that much left to do. So this is an unfinished project that I want to get done. and have it out of the way. It's only a little project, but that's all these things need to be. They don't need to be huge projects. They can be whatever you want. So that is one of my UFOs on my list. Another one which I'm not going to show you is I have an Alice in Wonderland journal that is probably about a third of the way through, that I left off making last year because I started with the creations and creativity boxes and I haven't had a chance to go back to it. So that's another one I want to get finished. And also I want to make some herbarium journals. I want to make some small kind of rusticy type little journals, and they will be going in my Etsy shop eventually. So those are 3 unfinished projects that I want to get on with. In terms of journals, now I've got 6 journals here that I would love to get done this year. They've kind of been on my cards for or on my radar for a while. The first one is a fabric and lace journal that is my mum's heirloom journal. Now, my mum had loads and loads of beautiful linen handkerchiefs, beautiful table linen, and some lovely pieces of jewellery. And I would love to complete my journal and a heirloom journal, can't get my words out again, an heirloom journal for her. And again, that is one that it has been prepped, but I've not started. Well, I have started it, but I've not actually started sewing it together. I have my linens, I have my vintage documents, my family photos to go in that, pieces of my mum's jewellery that I want to break down and use, and as I say, all her linens and stuff like that. It's all prepped and ready to go. I just need to get on with it. But in my head, that's a big one, so I just want to take my time with that one. And I have to say, I have been procrastinating quite a bit about doing that one. So I really want to crack on and get that one done. Another one I want to do is a leather wallet journal. Now, I saw one done on YouTube. I think it was about 18 months ago. I'm sorry, I don't remember the lady's name that did it. But when I come to do the journal, I will obviously give her all due credit, because I thought it was a fantastic idea. And I have here some lovely pieces of my dad's life. This is an old wallet of my dad's, which I think would be a fabulous journal in honour of him. There's his old business card, his little address book here. There's a little pocket thing here for stamps, and a little piece of fur that my dad used to keep as a lucky charm in his stamp wallet. And this is his old wallet, and I have some of his bits and bobs here that I can use to go in there. This is also another wallet that he had, and as you can see, it's got a really old vintage photo album in it with our family, vintage family photos. So I want to use that in it as well. And as you can see, all our lovely family photos here, really old vintage black and white ones. So these are some lovely ones that I would like to turn into journals. And I would want to include things like this one is my dad's service and release book. No, actually, it's my mum's. But I have my certificates and things like that from both parents. So I just thought I would like to use those and make up one, if not 2, heirloom wallet journals to honour my dad. So that's my plan there. I also have this, which is an old, now this is crocodile skin, believe it or not, and I'm sorry if you're sensitive, if you're a vegetarian or vegan out there and this offends you, but this is an old crocodile skin writing case that my mum and dad had. This was my mum's, and in here are some gorgeous, gorgeous, more family photos, as you can see here. Some gorgeous, gorgeous correspondence between my mum and my dad. And I thought this might also make a beautiful journal as well. But the jury's out on whether or not I do that with this this case or not. We shall see. We shall see. So let me pop that back in. Certainly I will use those one, if not two of those wallets, and possibly go on and use this as well. I don't know. We shall see. The other thing I've had on my list for ages is to make a patchwork covered journal. And I have these gorgeous pieces of patchwork here that I've been hoarding for a little while with a view to making up a patchwork covered journal. So that's what I thought I would do as well this year. See, I've got some major projects in mind. The other thing that would be quite nice is that just before Christmas we lost a dear aunt of mine, and she was absolutely amazing in terms of spinning and weaving and patchwork. And I thought that it might be nice if I used one of her patchwork quilts and made a journal for her out of one of her quilts, or make the cover out of one of her quilts. So I might not, when I come to do my patchwork journal, I might not use these that I've been hoarding. Oh, and they'll have to go back in the drawer. Oh dear. But I might use one of my aunt's and in honour of her, and embroider the cover. I don't know. I haven't seen the patchwork quilt that is coming my way, so we'll see. It depends on what it looks like and what the condition is, but I know that she used to turn out some beautiful, beautiful weaved fabrics and do some amazing patchworks in her day. Okay, so that's a fabric and lace journal, a leather wallet journal, at least one, a patchwork journal. The other one that I want to make is a bunny or hare journal. Now, Leanne set the challenge before Christmas for us to make bunny journals, rabbit journals, but I like bunnies, but I like hares. So whilst I think Leanne might be making a bunny journal, mine is going to be a hare journal. So my next journal I want to make this year is a Oriental themed journal, but I want to use, now wait for it, look at this, just look. This is a piece of kimono, and I think whilst it might not be your cup of tea, it is certainly my cup of tea. Just look at this fabric. It's absolutely lovely. It's bright orange. But can you imagine a kimono made out of that? So I have this piece of pure kimono silk, and I thought that it would be absolutely fabulous to use this fabric as a journal cover for an Oriental themed journal. And not only did I get one piece, I actually got two pieces the same size. So what I thought I would do is I would make a journal using this silk for the cover, and then make a beautiful silk pouch for it to go in that matches. So I can't wait to do that. It feels amazing. It really does. And then, gosh, I am so going to be busy this year. Then I've had on the cards for ages to make some just plain writing journals. And I have here a selection of books that I have been hoarding with this in mind. Now, these, I've got 6 of them. I'm not sure how many I will be making. I will certainly be making up 2. This one, as you can see, is Oliver Twist. It's just a cheap and cheerful Reader's Digest version, but I just love the feel of the paper, so I will certainly use that. But I just love the cover, and it's in amazing condition, and these end papers are to die for, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get those out. Now, that was one. This is another Reader's Digest, as you can see, and this has kind of got like a leather look to it, and it went to Claire Fogg back in the day, and then it's really not nice paper inside. Nice images. But I love the cover, so I'm going to use that. This is an older Reader's Digest one, and again, I love this. The cover's not as good. It's got slightly dinted at the top there. And the paper is nice inside, but this one has a musty smell about it, so I will see what this one is like when I've gutted it and given it a good dose of bicarbonate of soda to see if I can get rid of the smell, and then dusted it down and see how that works out, because if the smell has permeated through into the cover, I might not use that one at all. I'm just clearing the decks a little because I can see my cat wending his way towards the house, so he's going to come through the cat flap and he's going to want to come and see me in a minute. Now, these 2 I am definitely going to be making up into plain writing journals. This one is quite an old, much loved leather cover. George Herbert's poetical works. It has seen better days. You can see I picked it up for £6 in a second-hand shop. And the pages are absolutely gorgeous. Really nice paper. And they're gold-edged or gilt-edged. This is a lovely book. I love the feel and I love the size of it. So I would really like to... Sit down, darling. Sit down. Sit down. Good boy. Oh, he's wet. I really would like to use this one. As you can see, it's not in the best of condition at the top here and the bottom, or along the edge of the spine. You can see the colour is beginning to go a little bit there, but overall it's a nice book. It just has such a nice feel. And these 2 are my pride and joys. This one I bought when I was in Reykjavik in a bookshop there, and you know, they had a whole set of these. There were about 30 in the set, and oh god, if I could have got 30 home with me, I would have done. I came away with one, but I love it. I just love it. How can you see the raised binding at the side down the spine there? It's just lovely. And this book apparently is by, I've shown it before, it's by a well-known Icelandic author. So I wanted to use this one. And then this is another one. Now this has got a gorgeous light coloured leather. And I love these bits here and here. So I kind of thought that I would use that as well. Ooh, just spotted something in there. What was that? What? Can't see what it is. So anyway, those I thought I would at least make 4 of these into plain writing journals. No decoration inside, just using beautiful papers and coffee stain papers, and leave them completely unembellished inside. So that was my plan with those. And what next? So then I thought I would come down to courses. So I have the Amity Bloom Artist in Bloom course, so I'm going to do that and make a journal out of that. And I also have Nick the Booksmith one of her courses, and I thought that I would. I watched that course, but I didn't make anything. I just sat and watched it all the way through and was fascinated by it. So I'm going to use that course for binding those plain writing journals. Okay. So then I thought I would do something along the sewing line. Now, I'm ashamed to own up to this one. When Anne Brooks did her Sew for the Soul, I started off a snippet roll, and I haven't done anything with it. I've done a little bit with it, not much, as you can see. I don't know, I've put tiny French knots inside of these, but I didn't get... Well, my excuse is I didn't get time to finish it off. I could have made time, but I didn't. And I have all my pieces of fabric and my laces all tucked away here, all ready to go. So this is a project that I have decided I will get finished this year. I'm going to give it some due attention and get it finished. And so that's one of my sewing projects. And another one is, years ago, I... did a cross-stitch Noel banner to hang up at Christmas, and I never got that one finished either. So that's another project I'm going to get done. Okay, so then I wanted a project for my Etsy shop. So this year I'm going to do some more of the creativity boxes, but this time I'm going to make 20, maybe 25 of those boxes, and release them at some time throughout the year. So look out for those if you're interested. And then other projects. So you saw before Christmas, this is my little Raining Woods journal, and I started doing what I term Oriental style collaging or journaling in here. So I really enjoyed that. I kind of got distracted on the run up to Christmas and stopped doing it. So what I plan to do is try and finish this little journal this year, and I plan to do at least one video a week of my Raining Woods journaling. Now, if I finish this little book, because I'm not going to journal on each side of my pages, I'm probably only going to journal, well, this is where I've lied, I'm probably only going to journal on one side of the page. Occasionally, like here, I might journal on both sides of a page. But if I fill this one and I haven't got to the end of the year, then off to one side here, I have two more. I treated myself to two more of these journals. So this little red one is called Kettle Drum, and this one, excuse me, can't see the name on this one. It doesn't seem to have a name, but it has got a picture of a feather on the front. So I'm going to carry on doing that Oriental style journaling in these. So if I fill this little green one up, then I'm going to move on to one or both of these. And actually what I might do, if I'm in a red mood one day, I might dip out of the Raining Woods journal and go into the Kettle Drum journal. But either way, I plan to do a video each week, at least one video of that. I saw another one, I saw a tag book on YouTube, and again, I don't know the lady who made it, but I saw her do this tag book project, and I just thought, that's a nice idea. I'll store that away and have a go at making that another day. And it's been niggling at me all last year. I wanted to get on there and do it, and I didn't get round to doing it, so that's on my list to do. Also, Jackie Chimes did a tag in a floating pocket, which was absolutely adorable, and she made it using her flower fairies and some Amity Bloom wallpaper digital downloads, and I just thought that was so pretty that I wanted to have a go at making it. And again, that's another quick project, but it's something that I really fancied having a go at making. So that's what I thought I would do as well. Also, another project next year, this year, was to do bi-monthly tag swaps. Now, so many of you that took part in the pre-Christmas tag swap that I mentioned earlier have been saying to me they would love to do them again, or do one again. So what I thought I would do is every other month I would host another tag swap. So if you want to join in, then it's just a case of registering your interest at the time, not now, at the time, and you can then join in the tag swap if you want to. But I'm certainly going to, and the idea would be to have another one of the tag journals at the end of the year. So like a friendship tag journal at the end of the year with all the tags in. So that's my plan there, to host one every other month. And because we had one in December, things obviously get a bit busy in January, so I'm going to kick that off in February. So watch out round about the end of January, beginning of February, when I'll start posting details about that, the first of this year's tag swaps. And then finally, you'll probably be pleased to know, the one thing I am going to do this year is I'm going to do some copper plate handwriting. I'm going to teach myself to do copper plate handwriting. Now, when I showed you this little writing case here, I said it was full of correspondence between my mum and my dad. So this is some of their courting correspondence. But look at these adorable little envelopes. Now, that was my dad's handwriting, and he wrote like that. He taught himself to write like that in copper plate because he was forever getting in trouble at school because his handwriting was so appalling. So he taught himself, and for years I've said I would love to do it, but I won't, for the simple reason I haven't got the time, I haven't got the skills or whatever, and I've always put it off. But I've decided this year that I am going to sit down and I'm going to pay due care and attention, and I'm going to teach myself how to improve my handwriting and write copper plate. So I bought myself a pen, I've got my ink, I have got my calligraphy writing paper, I've got a pad here, but you can actually download it off the internet. These practice sheets, you can download them and use these. So these are a couple. This is one with some examples on, and this is just a plain page, and then this is the notebook that I bought. Now this is all fountain pen friendly paper, but I just thought that that's what I would do. I would start getting to grips with that. So my idea is to do at least 30 minutes worth of practice every couple of days. I'd like to say every day, but it's not going to happen. Probably every couple of days, and see by the end of the year how my handwriting has improved, if it has. So there's my 21 in 21. Now you might think, if you've been counting on your fingers as I've been going through there aren't actually 21 projects, but what I've done is, for example, when I've gone through these things and said I'm going to make these up, if I make up 4 of those, I've counted them as 4. Where I've done the wallet journals, if I make all of those up, if I make those 2 wallets up, and perhaps this writing case as a journal, then obviously that's 3. So they do add up, and I can get my 21 in 21. No doubt there'll be loads more that come along as the year progresses, other projects and things that I want to try. but those are the ones that I've set myself a challenge at doing this year. So if you fancy playing along with me, please do sit down with a piece of paper or something, just jot out 1 or 2 projects. What I did was I actually left my scrap of paper lying around in the craft room, and every time I thought of something or saw something and thought I should use that or I should try that paint, I jotted it down to get my list, and then wrote it up in one of my traveller's notebooks. So yeah, you might hear me as we go, well, you will hear me as we go along this year saying, right, okay, I'm making my bunny journal or I'm doing my heirloom journal. And you'll know that it will be from my 21 in 21 list. And it'll be interesting at the end of the year to see if I've actually managed to tick everything off this list. We'll see. All right, everybody, you've heard enough from me today, and I just hope that you're all happy and well, looking forward to an amazing 2021. It's going to be a great year this year. It can't be any worse than last year, can it? So it's going to be an amazing year this year. Think positive and let's enjoy our crafting. Take care, everybody. Love and hugs. Bye.